150-mile-an-hour average speed, 25 lead changes and a photo finish. The 1971 Italian Grand Prix had this and more. This is a short view back to the past on F1's fastest record breaker.
Gentlemen, a short view back to the past.
The pre-chicane Monza circuit was a true temple of speed for Formula One. The 3.6-mile circuit without the oval banking was one of the fastest tracks in the world. Chris Amon took pole for the 1971 Italian Grand Prix at 156 miles an hour. V12 power was the thing to have, even though Jackie Stewart arrived already as world champion, having driven his Tyrrell Cosworth DFV to his second world crown. The race turned into a slipstreaming epic, with 8 different leaders and 25 official lead changes. Now there are probably an awful lot more than that, but the lead changes officially only recorded at the start-finish line, but the pack was swapping order all the way round. One of the things that made this interesting was that some of the big hitters went out fairly early. Both Stewart and Jackie Ickx's Ferrari retired with engine failure, and shortly afterwards Clay Regazzoni, who had won the race the year before, also retired when his Ferrari's engine cried enough. Joe Siffert's rapid V12 BRM was also a leading contender until he hit gearbox problems. Going into the closing stages, it looked like victory would finally fall to the always unlucky Chris Amon and his Matra. Unfortunately, poor Chris went to rip off one of his visors to clear his view and ripped the whole lot off and got a 200-mile-an-hour wind in his face and had to back off. And that left 5 drivers fighting for victory, none of whom had yet taken a World Championship Grand Prix win. They were Ronnie Peterson in the Works March, Francois Sever in the second Tyrrell, Mark Howard Surtees and the 2 BRMs of Howden Ganley and Peter Gethin. Now Gethin had actually fallen back early on, but had managed to creep back to the lead group while ignoring the BRM engine rev limit by about 500 RPM, but it had held together and he got himself back into the position he needed to be in the closing stages. Gethin moved to the front on lap 52 of 55, but it was Peterson who led going onto the final lap. On the way round though, Sever grabbed the lead, and as they came down to Parabolica for the final time, it was 3 abreast for victory. Peterson moved to the inside in his march, and Gethin dived to the inside of him as they came into the braking zone. Peterson grabbed the lead, but slid wide as he went through the right-hander. Gethin, on a tighter line, took the lead on the exit, allowing the March to slot back in to his slipstream as they raced towards the finish. Peterson pulled out at the last minute, but fell 0.01 seconds short of grabbing victory at the flag. Remarkably, Sever, Howard and Ganley also crossed the line within 0.61 of the winner. Quite remarkable from today's perspective. And to put it into perspective of the time, the average winning margin in 1971 was 21.3 seconds. In 2021, it was just under 15 seconds, and it's even less so far this season. Gethin would never again win a World Championship Grand Prix, but his record of just over 150 mile an hour for the 196.5 miles, which is just an hour and 18 minutes of racing, would stand for more than 3 decades. It would stand until Michael Schumacher won the 2003 Italian Grand Prix at 153.8 miles an hour. Now, given that race was only timed to a 100th of a second, you could argue that the 2002 US GP, which was won by 0.011 of a second, or the 1986 Spanish Grand Prix, which was won by 0.014, were closer races. But actually, that's a bit of a nonsense, because the US Grand Prix was that terrible race where Rubens Barrichello and Michael Schumacher contrived to sort of create a photo finish for Ferrari. And the 1986 Spanish Grand Prix, the race where Senna just held off a charging Nigel Mansell's Williams, there was a big gap behind them. There's more than 20 seconds back to Alain Prost's McLaren. So I reckon with 0.61 seconds covering the top 5, that the 1971 Italian Grand Prix deserves to be thought of as the closest race in World Championship history. If you like this video, please remember to click that like button and subscribe. Do take a look at some other great videos on Motorsport TV, and do let us know in the comments if there are any other stories you'd like us to look at in future.